Lots of battery, we're good?
Yep, I'm just changing.
All right.
Welcome back to DVC Weekly. This is episode 277. My name is Jason Rippleding. I'm the broker of Buy and Sell DVC. I'm here with Scott Ferrioli.
I'm the owner of DVC-Rental.com, Buy and Sell DVC.com, and MyWDWHome.com.
And today is May 27th, 2026. 11-month windows, April 27th, 2027. And the 7-month window is December 27th, 2026. We're going to start on the buy and sell side of things. This is going to be old news, but this was March 31st, I believe, that this came out, that Disney made a new thing regarding commercial rental. And basically it says DVC defines commercial use for the first time. New policy introduces enforcement and limits. A Disney Vacation Club membership is intended for personal use and enjoyment only. Governing documents prohibit members from using their membership for commercial purposes. Members are not permitted to engage in the practice of regularly or frequently selling, renting reservations booked using their membership. Now, I will tell you, I don't think this affects anyone watching our show because the commercial renters are not watching this. So, and it says, how does DVC now define commercial use? And again, there's a bunch of stuff from the article, but I put on here making more than 20 reservations within a 12-month period, which most are not used personally. So that really, in my opinion, unless there's stuff I don't know about, that doesn't affect, 98% of the people out there, maybe 99.9% of the people out there.
Yep.
So it has been since March 31st. We're going to talk to Scott here, the owner of DVC-Rental, to see if he's had any questions on that policy change from members or renters.
No.
No.
No. When it first came out, we had a couple people who emailed. We saw a bunch of, mostly Facebook posts, but trying to figure out what's going on. And Disney left it very ambiguous. It was, without going into too many details, and I forget because it's been several months now. It was kind of like, essentially this is what it said. I'm paraphrasing here, but it was like, if management thinks that you're commercially renting, maybe we'll send you a letter. Or there's a possibility that, we could make it so you can only book your home resort. Or there's a chance that, we could make it so, you can't bank or borrow points. Or we could, it just kept saying this or this. And maybe it's 20 reservations, but based up to management discretion. And it just left it so open. And I was like, they haven't announced anything new at all. This is just, maybe we could do this, maybe it'll be this, maybe it'll be this. And just they're not putting anything down. I really, honestly, in my honest opinion, I believe it's just to appease people who complained that, commercial renters, and by commercial renters, they mean people who own a lot of points, who just go out there and book 100 reservations for the most popular times of the year to try to resell them at a premium. And I think people were complaining that people are going out there and they're just booking all these great stays, and I can no longer stay at my, where I wanted to stay, the week of Christmas, the first week of December, popular times. So Disney said, you know what, we'll put some wording out there, and then if anybody complains, we could say, hey, we put this out here. We said no commercial thing. We're doing our best to help you. Just so they had, I honestly believe it was just a way for them to sit there and appease the unhappy people who said, we don't like commercial renters. And they go, look, here's our policy now. Whether they're going to enforce it, what any punishments would be, more than 20 reservations, is it split up between membership, is it split up between contracts? There's nothing out there. I'm sure people are still going to be doing commercial renting. It's just, I think it's just so Disney can say, hey, when people complain at the DVC, meetings in December, they can just point to this and say, look, here's the policy we put in there. What are you complaining about? So, I don't think really much has changed at all. I haven't seen anything out there. I've been doing this for over 15 years now, coming up with 16 years. I've personally seen one of our renters once get an email because they had gone over the 20 limit, which has always been in there. But this is the first time they've actually stated it, in like the FAQ. But it's always been the numbers, like the magic number is 20 always. Like you do 19 reservations. Once you hit 20, then there's a problem. One person once got an email from Disney, I ballparking probably 12 years ago, and it said like, hey, we noticed you went over, 20 reservations this year. Like, please don't do it again. that was it. So, I mean, I've literally seen one thing once.
And when you say, we didn't pre-discuss this, but when you say when the person owns a lot of points, what number are you thinking in your head?
Thousands.
Okay, like 8,000?
Well, I'm trying to picture, if somebody's going over 20 reservations, they've probably at least got 2,000 points.
Because I used to know of like, 2 to 4 people, because the max is supposed to be 8,000 points one person can own. And then I think it was 2,000 like per resort. So you can own 4 resorts, 2,000. But then these people, to get around that, they would
their family.
they would put a deed in their sister's name, which again, you do that. Well, of course you have to trust your sister because the deed's now in their name, and they would do that. So I only know like 2 to 4 people like that. So again, and if there's a popular discussion board that has DVC, when this announcement came out, within like 5 days, there was 48 pages of comments about this policy. And you would not believe, because first of all, if this policy was, like if you could not run out your points at all, then the number of listings would increase dramatically, because there's some people who maybe they've used it for 5 or 12 years and they don't use it as much and they run it out majority of the time. Well, they would probably, if they can't do it, they would probably sell it. There was no spike in selling. People thought that like your website, DVC-Rental, people thought that was going to be shut down.
No.
It was just
on there, they had a question, I forget what it was, and Disney addressed that, yes, there are commercial brokers who do this, something like, I forget what the exact comment was, but it was like, am I gonna get in trouble for using the commercial broker or something? And they were like, no, there's commercial brokers out there. The only thing is, just be careful, like who you trust, that you don't get scammed. So Disney actually wrote in there like, hey, we realize there's companies like DVC-Rental who do this stuff and they're legit. Just make sure you're cautious with like who you use type things. Like, so there's no talk about removing any companies that do this. What Disney's trying to do is stop people from doing it as a business. They don't want people going out there buying thousands of points and just taking all the top dates that people want just to make money. Because again, the reason they went after people is because at the DVC meetings, people sat there and pointed out that they hate these commercial renters who purposely just go and take up all the best reservations just to resell them, because the Johnson family went out there and said, I've owned for 25 years now and I can no longer get my dates because of all these people. So Disney said, we're going to crack down on it. And then they didn't crack down on it. And then the next year at the DVC meeting, people again said, hey, the commercial renters are killing us. So then they said, we're going to start cracking down on it. We're going to crack down on it. And then they waited another like 8 months or so to put out this new policy that just really does not define much. It just says 20 reservations. Most of them are not yours. But again, there's no thing. It leaves it up to management. There's all wording in there that lets them get out of everything if they want to. So it's just, in all honesty, nothing was announced. It made a big thing. You said 48 pages on there. Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I own this business. I saw on Facebook, DVC makes some announcement about renting, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh no, what is this? What? So Jake, actually, you're the one who told me that they made the announcement. I was like, I couldn't find it. And I went, I was like, all right, I found everything. And they didn't make it easy to find. They found what the policy was. Like, oh, there's really not much here. And then I saw online, there's more stuff in the FAQ on there. So they had an FAQ where people are replying stuff. I'm like, oh, mentions companies like ours that do this stuff. It says, yeah, they're legit, they're fine. Just, make sure you don't get scammed or whatever. I was like, oh, yeah, there's nothing. There's literally, they made a big deal about this. And it's like the first time Disney has put anything out there, because they said, 20 reservations. I'm like, but that's been the magic number.
Yeah,
Since I started my company 15 years ago, the number has been you could do 19 reservations. Once you hit 20, Disney may or may not send you something. And again, we've had people do over 20 reservations in the past personally and never received anything. One person got one letter once 15 years ago. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know if Disney, what I should say is that I don't know if the commercial renters, the people who do have 100 reservations, if stuff has happened to them, because those are not our people. You know, people who come to us typically are going to only rent a couple reservations. Commercial renters are doing this as a business, and they're doing it themselves because they've done this a zillion times before, and they're not using a broker to help them out. They're doing it on their own. I don't know if they're somehow getting affected, if Disney has gone after this person who's got 800 reservations. I have no idea because it's not through us. All I can say is that all of our DVC members are fine. We're fine. Nothing has changed. Business as usual. But if I was a commercial renter and I had 100 reservations, I'd be concerned right now.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, again, goes back many years. Like these changes, nothing ever changes. Like you say, they're just trying to appease people. Yeah, I don't know what the point of all this stuff is because, unless the people that it's happening to are just simply staying quiet, because you think someone would say, oh, this is what happened, but nobody can find anybody that it's affecting them.
I mean, there's specific people that you see on Facebook that, you know, there's common names that people know out there who do the commercial renting. And I can't imagine any of them would sit there and raise their hand and go, yes, Disney came after me and threatened me or did this, or they made me, I can't bank my points. Like, I don't think they even want to come out and expose themselves to that. So I don't think commercial renters are saying anything. All I can talk about is the hundreds and hundreds of DVC members we have and go, you know, our people are not affected by it. They're not commercial renters. There's no issues.
And now we're on to the food review.
Come here, I'm gonna eat you! Get in my belly!
So today's food review, I am back at Amorette's, and for this show, we're going to talk about their lemon blueberry cheesecake. Again, I just want to point out, Amorette's, I think, has the best cheesecake on property always. The lemon cheesecake, which is lemon cheesecake and blueberry mousse topped with fresh blueberries and viola, that's a little flour thing, for $9.75. I've said it before, cheesecake's definitely expensive, but again, finds to be some of the best on property. This one didn't disappoint either. I did feel that the lemon and blueberry taste could have been a little bit stronger. At the very, very bottom, my son found a little piece about the size of a pea that looked like that was like lemon, like filling, like a pie filling. But I mean, literally the size of a pea. So it could have been could have a little more in there. That said, again, their cheesecake is always dense and creamy, very, very good. It looked very, very cool, and it was definitely enjoyable. I'd say check it out. Try to check it out shortly because they do rotate their desserts a lot. Overall, I give this one an 8.8. So again, expensive for what you get, but it's cool. It looks nice, great for photos. It's got the blueberry on top. It was, again, very, very good cheesecake. It's a good amount, $10. You can pretty much go to Publix and buy a whole cheesecake for $10. But I mean, it's very, very good, and the Amorette's is always super solid with their cheesecakes.
And now we're on to DVC-Rental.
So on the rental side, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Lakeshore Lodge and what we know so far. It's going to be, because they made an announcement essentially. It's going to be a waterfront retreat where guests and their loved ones will discover the wonder of nature through artistry of Disney storytelling. Now it's projected to open in the summer of 2027. Lakeshore Lodge will celebrate the beauty and magic of nature, seen through the eyes of Disney artists and storytellers. Inspired by Walt Disney's lifelong admiration for the great outdoors, the resort's design will pay tribute to decades of animated stories rooted in nature with subtle nods to classic films. From the lush forests of Bambi and the colorful winds of Pocahontas to the sweeping glacial landscapes of Brother Bear. So, mentioning Bambi, Pocahontas, and Brother Bear. When was the last time you've seen any of those movies, just for the record?
Have you
seen any of these? Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen any of these movies. I mean, Bambi's a classic. I haven't.
If I have,
If I
it
saw
might
it, maybe I
escape
saw
my
it was
memory.
today. I don't know Pocahontas. I don't think I've ever seen the whole film. I haven't seen that Brother Bear, so it seems like an odd choice to go with there, but also nestled along the tranquil shores of Bay Lake, Disney's Lakeshore Lodge will invite families to slow down, take in their surroundings, and create cherished memories together. Spectacular floor-to-ceiling windows will welcome natural sunlight and showcase views of the local flora and fauna, allowing the outdoors to flow seamlessly into the architecture, artwork, and ambiance. With 967 thoughtfully designed rooms, so it's going to be a pretty big one. This new addition to the Disney Resorts collection will offer a variety of ways to stay, from cozy studios to spacious suites. Many rooms will offer peaceful views of Bay Lake by day and spectacular views of Magic Kingdom Park fireworks by night. That should be really nice. Resort will also debut with a new 1 and 2 bedroom lake houses along the waterfront, offering families an even closer connection to nature with ample space to relax and unwind. So it looks like they're going to have private bungalows essentially on the lake with different options, 1 and 2 bedroom options. So it's not just like the 2 bedroom cabin or the 2 bedroom bungalows at Polynesian and Copper Creek, respectively. They're going to have 1 and 2 bedroom options. So this is going to be interesting. I'm not sure about their choices of movies that they're following here, but that's fine. I'm sure the resort's going to be beautiful. I'm sure it's going to have great views. I mean, I'm looking forward to checking this out. And again, summer 2027. So we are about 1 year away from it going live.
And this was a resort, correct? It was going to be like around before COVID, and then COVID came, and then it disappeared.
Yes.
And then it reappeared.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one. It's back.
It's
back. Again, about a year from now, it should be interesting. Again, studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms. I don't know if they're going to have a 3 bedroom grand villa, but also specific 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom lake houses along the waterfront. So lots of cool options. Again, I like that Disney's switching up a little bit, having a 1 bedroom lake house and a 2 bedroom lake house is interesting. So looking forward to seeing how this progresses.
And again, it's not a guarantee, but I still want to see if it's going to be the same restrictions as Riviera cabins at Wilderness Lodge. I mean,
yeah. I realize I missed the page here at the end. There's a little bit at the edges. In the months ahead, we'll share more about the dining locations, recreational offerings, amenities, and all that stuff. Because right now, nothing else has been released. Sorry. But yeah,
so yeah, it'll be interesting to see the resale restrictions.
Yeah. Yeah, they're probably going to put resale restrictions on there, and
well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, you never know, though.
No, you never know. But I mean, it seems that when they've added on to the resorts, like when they added on to Poly and they added on to Grand Floridian, they haven't had the resale restrictions. When they've built brand new resorts like Riviera and the new what's it called? California, the Disneyland Hotel villas out there. They added the restrictions. So if I had to guess, I'm guessing they're going to have the restrictions on there.
But I feel like there's going to be a price per point. But let's say it's $300 a point. Like
we're getting close, yeah.
If you get to $300 a point, aren't the buyers going to be more concerned about that? I don't know. It's really up to the
buyers. As of was it a couple of weeks ago, you had mentioned that Riviera was the second highest selling contract out there, and I'm going, where? Do you know what Riviera's at? Like 250,
250 or 275.
It's something in the 250, 275 range. And people are buying it hand over fist still, even with those resale restrictions on there. So, I mean, if Disney makes this $300 a point and slaps the resale restrictions on there, somebody's going to buy it. And then they're going to find out that it's going to be $150, $140 on the resale market when they try to sell it, because they're going to be locked in, and we shall see.
We shall see.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching. Again, please hop in the comments section. Join us on our Facebook group, Disney Vacation Club Resales, DVC. Always chatting in there, and photos and things for food and lots of great stuff in there. So we'll see you around.